every time you use the plate.
Yeah.
So say you're on, like for you, the 9th level of mountain climbing in, we have to do 10 visitations. It's going to take forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to look how you did when you visited that location.
Okay.
And whether it's hostile or doesn't even care or benevolent. We're then going to choose, do you want to spend effort on it? Or do you want to corral your effort to any of the other options? You'll get a passive something from it, or maybe even nothing. Or maybe it also gives you debuff. Depending. And then we get to the real visitation. And go from there.
Okay.
All right. If you could, we're going to start with what you have for the plate. Johnny has kindly provided at least access to his plate. So what it does is, well, every time you use it once, like for each unique use of it, you can convert one enlightenment type to another enlightenment type, like a sword enlightenment to a shadow enlightenment. And it's one use per plate. The use of a plate is cultivating on it. So if you have any enlightenments that you want to convert to a special type or convert from a special type to a different one, you get to do it once. Okay. It doesn't guarantee it, but if there is a massive expulsion of resources, or like there is a opportunity to collect a huge outburst of resources, you can. That doesn't mean you will be able to, or if it's safe, it just means the plate might be able to help you with it in a narrative fashion. Gotcha. In this case, resource capture, you can either say, hey, I'm going to wait for the actual visitation, or you can have the plate resource capture from any of the previous locations. So that Oobleck that you got from that first visitation, if you want one more of those, you can use the plate's resource capture for it.
I thought you already did that, but that's or maybe we were something else. But yeah.
Is that how I got two? Yeah.
Yeah, you got two on the visitation. You can use, because it's going to revisit you, remember?
Yeah.
So if you want to use the resource capture on a previous visitation, it'll be used for that, but you won't have it for the main visitation. So it's like, which place do you want a guaranteed resource from?
Gotcha.
You have to have earned it, so you know you can get an Oobleck because you got one. So if you don't have a resource from that place, then you might need to pick another place.
Gotcha.
Plate scarring. Yeah, so you can accidentally damage the plate if you grab too much, but you get how many rerolls?
6.
6, yeah, rerolls to whatever.
And you also have me, Savalar.
Yeah. You get 1 temp health state, 2.5k armor during the tribulation. You get 6 rerolls. You get a cultivation growth and a physical or spiritual transformation, but only applies if the tribulation is successful. Okay. Okay. I might modify the tempering effect, mostly because we need to save time a little bit. So I'll think about it, what should be done. But for now, we're going to start the tribulation. Just know that you have 6 rerolls. There are some really bad things in the phenomenon, but think about what you're good at. You have 2.5k armor. You have 1 health state. Some stuff just outright kill you. That's what the health state's for. It'll block it. So I'm going to have you start by rolling me a d6 for features.
Stunned. 6. Oh, 4.
All right. You will be visited by an entity that has a overwhelming aura.
Oh, there.
Okay. Then I'm going to have you roll a d4 for blessing.
4, 2.
Okay. Blessing and plenty. The cosmic entity visiting you possesses plenty of resources or means of acquiring gains in some manner.
Okay.
Then roll me a d20. This is the phenomenon, and these will mess you up.
Phenomenon. A 4.
Or Spatial Blight detonates all spatial rings and destroys all items inside it. Enter spatial rings are immune, and all items with invulnerable, indestructible, or unassailable qualities survive.
Okay.
Would you like to use a reroll?
Yeah, I think I will because let's see. I believe I have one of those that won't be affected, but also I have a different one that I don't want to have explode. Yeah, I have a medium grade one.
Now you've learned to take off your spatial rings when you except for the good ones. In case you roll this one. So this one will go away. Go ahead and re-roll.
Gotcha. And that's a d20.
Mm-hmm.
16.
Ooh.
And I guess I'll take off my spatial rings while I'm thinking about
it.
Fuck.
Object of power. You come into direct and unprotected contact with a significantly powerful item. Roll table on random chart to see what it is. Endure.
This is a cool one. I would either keep this or try for like a 20 or something. But
I think I'll keep this. I like the idea of the object of power. It depends on what it is.
Roll
1d1000
for visitation and 1d1000 for object of power.
Okay, so d1000 twice.
Yeah, the first
one
one
at
will
a
be
time
for visitation, and then the second one will be
218.
object of power.
Do you want something lower, Chung Po?
Or do you want to keep 218 as your visitation?
Well, I don't believe I've hit 218 before, so I am curious as to what it will manifest. Can I reroll after the fact? Or like reroll after I know what the visitation is?
No.
I'll just see what happens.
Okay, 218. We can do 218.
And then here is the you said object, not object of power for this one?
Yep.
Okay. 290.
This is a random chart, not a luck roll.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll just see let's see what this manifests. 18 and 290.
Do you remember the name of the previous celestial body that visited you in the color ranks?
Not offhand, but I know that it was spinning very fast, and I know how I survived.
You sure that's not 333 that you did last?
The
Oobleck.
I think it was. Yeah, I believe it was 333. It was the one that I did last.
The previous one you were thinking of before that was the spinning one.
Oh, well, no, that's how I survived the spinning. Was I dug down into the earth?
But that was that was when you did before the Oobleck.
Okay. You sure that one wasn't the Oobleck? Because I thought that's where because I went down to almost the core of the world.
He's only done one planet visitation. It's the same thing. He buried down so he can get out of the way.
He did 2 so far. 2 celestial visitations. First
What
one,
was the
he was spinning around a star or something along those lines, and
Yeah,
he
it
was
was
going
toppy
very
visitation.
fast. And then the second one was 333, where he was on a storm-like planet, and then he dug down because there was all kinds of chaotic energies above, and you kept going down until,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, I had to do it
You-
twice. I remember this because
The
I
first
was like
one you were
sitting
not
in
on the
a helmet
Tribulation plate.
burrow.
The first one you weren't on the Tribulation plate. The second one, 333, you were on the Tribulation plate.
So the
Gotcha.
visitation from the spinning top planet
Correct.
it was not on the plate. Okay, then it doesn't visit you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call it the acid storm planet.
Acid storm planet. This acid storm planet visitation.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want a resource from it from the plate, the resource collection, or do you want to save it for the new planet that shows up?
I think I want to save it for the new planet.
Okay. What's your defense strategy,
This one's a little trickier.
or do you want to use your health state here?
I don't like the idea of just using my health state right away. But this is a bit of a pickle. The only thing I can think of would be to hypothetically using some adapt merit to try and create mixing the acid and trying to create a petrification effect on my bark to make it to where the acid rolls off of me rather than burns my organic materials.
Okay, I work.
You said not going to work?
I said will work.
Will work. Okay.
Okay.
To track that, how would you like that written, or like gift of the deep? Miss
You can also just shed it. Just
shed the bark.
you can. The petrification has to go because you have to properly petrify the entirety of your body, which makes you unable to move. But you only need to maintain that for as long as the visitation. So you just
Okay.
you break out of the petrification.
Gotcha.
You go about your business.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Another 2D1000 or
What do you mean? No, we have all the
okay,
rolls
I'm
we
just
need.
okay.
Oh yeah.
So I'm suppose I should try and find something on the acid storm world.
Nope. We're already done with it. Moving past.
Understood.
Come on. Thing. There we go. All right, we're moving on to the object of power. We have to resolve that first.
Understood.
So, the object of power is an old cosmic ship hull, broken, fragmented, almost like a piece of severed hull drifting through space. You come into direct contact with it. It is moving a little too fast. It is an object of power because it has traveled by many a star, through many a celestial phenomenon. It has been attacked, assaulted, exposed. It's had a long journey. It is also going ridiculously fast. We're talking like quarter of the speed of light from the blast that shored the armor off the vessel it used to belong to.
Order of the
It's
speed of light. Jesus.
it is indestructible and unassailable. How
Okay.
something that is indestructible and unassailable can end up in this state, shorn from the rest of it, that's unknown. However, all it does is impact you directly. Like
Okay.
you are a news reporter in a hurricane and one of those big old traffic signs that tells you like which exit to take comes
Mhm.
by and cleans your clock.
Okay.
It is going the quarter of C, and the impact is enough to kill pretty much most people. It also does not budge, and when it hits you, it does not lose any momentum.
Okay. Are you
Simple
okay,
as that.
are simple as that? Just hits me?
You can use a hell state to just get this over with if you'd like. You have two.
But okay. Hypothetically, I'm not sure if it already because I'm quarter of C if I didn't see it coming, then I'd be screwed and I'd get hit anyways. However, hypothetically, could I try and use push pull for either to just get out of the way of it or to be in front of it and then like still moving a quarter of C just enough to not get hit?
You could do that, but you will be moving a quarter of C into the visitation.
Yeah.
You know what C is?
It's speed of light. Which is hang on a second, let me remember what the speed of
25% speed of
light
light. You fast as fuck. And
is.
yes, you could use push pull. It cannot be pushed or pulled, but you can be pushed or pulled from it.
Almost 75 million meters a second.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a quarter of C.
Oh yes. Man, go fast.
Very fast, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a very interesting object of power, considering it's partially destroyed, or is like the object of power
It
in it?
picked up things as it traveled through space endlessly from the era it
Oh,
came from. This
okay.
thing has been traveling for unknown eras.
Damn. Okay.
Survived multiple shifts in the era principles. Just hurling through space. Unassailable and untouchable. Or indestructible.
Could I try and manipulate my push pull to where I slowly get to where I am in contact and I'm just on the ship rather than trying to
Just
not
the
get
hull.
crushed like a bug? Just the hull. So this is just like the outside of it?
This is a hull fragment, as in a ship took significant battle damage to the point where the hull fragmented.
Okay. So this is just like a large shard of metal.
Yes, it's an enormous shard of metal.
Gotcha. Then I would wish to rescind how I was using push-pull in the first place. I thought this was like half a ship.
Bigger than most ships you've ever seen. This is just a fragment.
Gotcha. If it is just a fragment and not in any sort of like intricate, like you could walk inside of the thing, then I wish to try and just dodge with push-pull and hypothetically, I don't know, still get hit, but try
I mean,
to
if you take your
roll
time,
off the plate.
if you take the
That's
time,
the
yeah, you
thing.
could.
Um, would you say that I could use, it's taking my time, a split second reaction for the fact that it's the speed of light?
you'd be in space. There is nothing to push off of to gain split second reaction. However, you could use push pull split second to push yourself out of the way.
I feel like
Push pull's
that's
also
better
been
than
really slow, so your slow approach is probably for the best.
yeah, I will do my best to glance off with push pull to maneuver myself just around an edge. I don't know how. I'm just trying to sit here thinking of the physics and the G-force, and I'm just like,
Lethal
yeah,
in every capacity to a normal
yeah.
person. You also don't have to worry too much about all of the G-force issues. You have sap blood. You can push your systems critical, where most people would either faint, pass out, or die.
Fair enough.
Well, there it goes. Bye.
Holy shit!
All right, your visitation.
Alrighty, another D1000,
My guy.
or we're still on Acid Storm Planet, or
My
the
guy.
Spinny World. Sorry.
My guy. You were super lost in the sauce today. Spinning World doesn't come up.
Okay.
Johnny just confirmed it never went onto the plate, so it'll never show
Yeah.
up again. You have to go find it in
Gotcha.
space if you want to see it again.
Okay.
The Acid Rain World, the only reason you visited, because you visited it in the black gold while you're using the plate. It'll come back every time you use the plate to cultivate.
Understood.
The spaceship hull that hit you was from a phenomenon effect. You rolled a 16. Then you rolled a D1000 to see what object of power you interacted with.
Gotcha.
You already rolled the visitation. You even typed in visitation.
Yeah.
We're going to go with that one. You don't need to roll another D1000.
Okay. You said like needing to do 10 steps, and so I was just like, oh, okay, do I?
A few steps, but
Okay.
in earnest, the steps are dragged out over the course of the cultivation.
Gotcha.
We've already done a ton of them. So, the visitation. Ice World. Solid block of ice with no features. The surface is perfectly smooth. It's like looking at a cue ball. It's so perfectly circular. And it's ice. However, you feel no coldness while being on its surface. And that's where you start. You start standing on top of the celestial object. However, there is no atmosphere, but you have a spacesuit. Temperatures are insanely hot.
Whoa.
The ice does not melt. In fact, it is probably the coldest, most frozen and dense ice you have ever seen.
It's insanely hot.
The ice is not hot. The ice is cold, but the atmosphere or whatever it is around it, above the surface of the ice, dangerously hot. Like human inhabitable levels of hot, like mercury levels of I'm too close to the sun hot. Another good example. If you've ever seen Chronicles of Riddick, when they go to crematorium,
The
scene where they run from the
prison
bright
world.
side of the sun.
Yes.
Yeah, that level hot. Like the sun touches you, you instantly get red sunburns.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And you are standing on the top of it. It is that hot. Your suit's going, don't take off the suit, homie.
Fair. Definitely not.
What do you do?
Um, uh, I guess I'll ice skate along the edge of the world, doing the same as the chasing, trying to avoid the sunlight. Um, Staying like just at like the certain temperature of the arc of the planet, and yeah, that this is comfortable enough to. I'll just be either skating or jogging or charging. How
Um,
big is the curve? How big is this ice world?
moon size, so it looks flat to you. You don't actually see the curvature. It's large enough that it looks flat.
Okay.
No skating. It is not slick like ice.
Mm.
It has the complete opposite behavior of ice. The friction coefficient is almost to the point where you can't move your feet. You can lift them maybe up, but it is the strangest thing. There's so much friction, it's almost like you're glued.
Ooh, that type of friction. Okay.
And that only applies when you have contact with the surface.
Um, and if other objects also have contact with the surface, like if I stuck my sword or like tried to hit it with my sword, feels like friction.
Are you just hitting it, or are you trying to like drag your sword along it?
Kind of trying to see whether or not I could do a top spin attack, and get like an angle to where I'm just like the least amount of like the momentum of me hitting the ground and like launching myself and then trying to dislodge without it getting stuck.
Well, hmm, you can, with a lot of effort, pull stuff directly away from the surface. It has to be perfectly perpendicular at a 90-degree in the force you apply it to move it. If it is so much as slightly off, you can't move it once it
Okay.
comes in contact. It has that much friction.
So I have to aim and hit the perfect 90 degree.
And then it still doesn't move. Like you make tink and it's stuck. However, the tip of the sword does leave a scar on the ice. Just a little itty bitty teeny weeny scar. But because you've done that, you've increased the surface area in which the ice touches the sword, making it even harder to pull out. It takes everything you have to pull the sword out, and you've only scratched it less than a millimeter. But because the angle of the cut line, that little itty bitty scratch, now touches more parts of the sword's tip, you can't achieve perfect 90-degree leverage. Because that itty bitty groove now applies diagonal leverage against the tip of the sword. And we're talking like
Okay.
you're fighting over the contact point of a grain of sand.
Hmm. And the if trying to use even just the cut to create momentum for me to get launched off and create this spinny effect did not work because creating the cut created more surface area and tension, and so it got lodged.
Yes. And even if you
Okay.
were able to get the impact point through graviton, if you're more likely to lose the bottom soles of your feet that
Hmm,
stick on the ground than you are to free yourself.
gotcha. Okay. Well, and the threat is still the sun getting closer and closer to like, hey, you're gonna get cooked.
No, temperature's pretty much the same. Your
Oh, okay.
suit can easily handle it. Johnny did an
Okay.
amazing job with the spacesuits. They're OP as shit. normally you would show up. I'd give you like most 30 seconds to live, and then you're stuck in place because of the ice, and you go. But the space, it's like, now we get, just don't
Okay.
breach the suit.
Okay. Alrighty. If nothing is going to destroy me in this moment, then I will study more of this ice in this world and try to understand how the heck everything is operating the way that it is, and not either a boiling sea world rather than ice, or how this friction is. I think I would like to study the friction and how it's working. Until I notice something that is so deadly that I should be doing something about it.
You can tell the only danger is you falling over and being unable to get yourself off the ice because of the friction.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Otherwise, the suit, despite its normalness as a spacesuit, you're still technically in the ship, which means you have basically perpetual access to air, water.
If anything, Chunpo could do some tree stuff and just sit and absorb some of the solar qigong. Just got his shades on and yes. I don't know if my suit can let in photosynthesis, but or let in the amount that wouldn't kill me. Or it's just like, hey, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Then yeah, we'll stand and wait and observe and think and contemplate what I could do, what this tribulation could. I'm curious what would happen if I tried to burrow into the ice, see if tree buddy roots do anything. But like I'm standing and just like poking one root down and like not trying to fall.
Okay, I mean,
I'm guessing similar to the sword, like not really even causing a dent or.
not really much causes any damage. You're able to deal damage to it just because of your swordsmanship level and your passive application. But under no knowledge that you have, their means doesn't actually seem to affect the ice.
Okay.
However, you haven't used sword power. You also haven't used pretty much everything else on your kit.
Great.
Because visitations are a little bit different. You do have the full set of your kit while you're doing it.
I keep forgetting that I have to activate sword power for certain things to turn on, and my brain's just like, oh, not a passive. Whoopsies. Um, I'm gonna see what happens if I activate my sword aura and try and slice at the ice.
Sorry, run that by me again.
Uh, using a sword power, activating my sword aura, seeing if slicing at the ice with sword power, creates a different result.
It does. There is almost no friction on the sword power itself. However,
Okay.
when you touch it to the ice, you do start to cut through it. However, it causes enormous gouts of phosphoric flame.
Whoa! Okay. Probably with how hot the atmosphere is, just a release of technically gas that quickly ignited. Um. Okay. Probably hit a gas pocket. Just make sure that I don't step away from that a little bit and make sure that I don't get near that, and hopefully it doesn't blow up. Hopefully it's just releasing pressure. Um, phosphorus grass, flame. So hypothetically, there's a ocean of something underneath here. But that's all conjecture. I just hit it and cut it, and it ignited. Not entirely sure what I could be doing to be finding a resource currently. Or I do not know how to harvest a resource here. Um, hmm. I'd like to attempt to safely cut a block of the ice out. Or that just, well, using sword power, making 4 cuts, and trying to grab the ice before it ignites into a torrent of flame on me.
Need you to speak up, dude. You got really quiet.
Let's see. Microphone's right next to my face. Let's see. Can you hear me okay now, or?
A little bit more, like, there's a little bit more timbre in your voice.
Okay. I am wondering. Chunpo is currently wondering what I should be trying to, what item I might hypothetically gain from this tribulation with this planet. And so Chunpo is wanting to use his sword power and cut a block of ice out to study the friction and why it is acting the way that it is, and see if there's anything there, any either secrets or anything that I could learn.
Problem is, you don't know much about friction or fire,
Yeah.
but you can carve a block of ice out for yourself.
Okay.
Once you pull the ice block out, the
Mhm.
heat does weird things to the ice. It collects itself in that non-smooth surface, and you watch as the cut edges that you did start to melt, and now it creates a little divot. The heat got trapped with that friction surface, and it melted the ice. Your suit shows a white color for temperature.
Like white hot.
Yeah, like your temperature readings go. White's the closest we can give you.
Gonna back away slowly and
You can't. You're
okay.
stuck.
Right, friction.
You don't get to move your feet so easily. They're stuck to the ground.
Okay.
Oh, friction's really bad.
Yeah. Cannot move like that. Um, trying to visualize the heat. The reason that is now white hot is because I cut out a block and it's like I'm still close to it, and
The heat got trapped in the pocket you made.
ooh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm just close to it still.
Yep, you're too
Um,
close.
okay.
You also cannot set down the block of ice. If you set it down, you will never pick it back up. It'll be stuck. Too much surface area.
Okay.
Hmm.
If I cannot move my feet, then I would like to try and use push pull.
Use what? I can't hear you.
I would like to try and use push pull and push myself off of the ice body, the celestial body that is the planet, and push myself off of it and trying to maneuver just off and away from the heat.
Even your qigong gets stuck from friction, and only by banishing it, the use of it, does it stop being stuck.
Okay.
Friction applies to energy here. However, if
Okay,
you use a
friction.
metric shit ton of qigong, you can pull yourself off the surface if you do it slowly.
I do not have a metric shit ton of
How many you
qigong.
got?
Not a metric shit ton. Not
How
even
many you
a
got?
ton. Let's see. Back to this side of the play sheet. Gravity Qigong. 5.
That will not be enough.
Yeah.
You spend your 5, you try and get off the planet, you're stuck.
Gotcha.
You'll need more juice.
Okay. Okay, try to think how friction works. Moving off of something, you create an opposite force from the movement and the push, and that creates the energy to move. Tire spin in one direction, pushes car in other direction. And on this planet, trying to push is actually, or actively fighting and pushing off makes it to where you get stuck.
So, you know those arrows that you see in a diagram? The arrow
Yep,
going down, arrow going up, or
yep,
like forces pushing on each other? Imagine if the arrows went off screen.
okay.
And then you looked up and it was still going.
Okay, so just to combat that, just need more oomph to be able to use that. Um, Hypothetically, I almost want to try and use the scaling the mountain trick with swordsmanship to try and change how I see friction and go up the friction vector.
You want to increase friction more?
Um, the way that my mind pictured it was me trying to go up the vector and get to the peak of the vector to then somehow say, okay, well, now I have enough energy and oomph to fight against it and actually make friction work the way that that it does here. But that's a more of just a currently like a hypothetical, and you know that you can do it because you did it on the sword mountain or like something similar, but this is different.
Change your perspective, changed where the force was being applied. So instead of running up a wall where the force is pointing down and the wall is
Mhm.
vertical, you now are treating the downward force as a sideways force, as if gravity is now horizontal, and now you can walk on the wall as if it were the floor.
Yes.
That's that perspective change. That will not be quite as useful as in the way you're trying to do it here.
Yeah.
Because technically, you could be standing directly or be hanging upside down from this substance, and you wouldn't immediately fall. You'd have like Spider-Man grip just by not moving.
Okay. Hypothetically using perspective change to make it it's just a lot of friction with every pebble, and so it makes it feel like it's more rather than there actually being more
You don't know.
friction.
You
Okay, never
don't.
mind.
You have not looked into the cause and effect of why the friction is so high.
Okay,
Also, why is it so hot on the top of an ice planet? And
yeah.
why is the ice interacting with the hot atmosphere the way it's interacting? Why can't it melt it until there's a divot? Because the whole planet's perfectly smooth until you carved into it. And the ice only started to melt when the wind got trapped in a non-smooth surface, and then the heat went up and up and up and up.
Okay.
So there's a lot of moving wind here. Like,
Gotcha.
not something that would send you flying, especially with the or knock you over. But
It's very windy. And
yeah,
creating a divot cause so the wind is hot, and the wind creating a divot caused it to melt, but then that
you caused
pocket
it. You caused the
captured
divot.
heat.
Yeah,
Yes.
the pocket captured wind traveling, which then had it come in contact with more surface area because of all the different angles you cut. Wind got trapped, heat rose, heat melted ice until surface changed, which then eventually turned into a small pothole instead of a carved out cube shape, and now
Yeah.
wind can get out.
Okay. So does the heat go down now that the pocket has gotten to where wind can get out?
It's still white hot, but it's not as bad as it was.
Okay. I don't feel like I should cut again because that will end horribly for me. But that is interesting to think about. The wind, it's very hot air, and the only reason that I'm alive is because of the suit. Otherwise, I'd be cooking. This added
You'd be
more
cooking.
heat. Yeah.
You're
Okay.
in a hole. Your suit will not be able to save you from the heat that builds up. So don't be in one of those holes.
Gotcha. Okay. Um,
You got your cube. Don't set it down.
mhm, not setting it down. Also questioning what the heck that would do if I
Mhm.
did set it down and then like made a small mound. I feel like that would cook me too, even if I was
It
trying to
would.
hide
It's
from it.
also starting to melt.
Shit.
You can see the temperature starting to spike because there's so much surface area that you've pulled out from the cube. It's got 6 sides of surface area for the wind to come in contact with.
Okay.
It's starting to heat up. Also, your muscles are starting to strain
Yeah.
because now it's exposed to air, and the sheer contact with the air with all the surface areas it's the same amount of friction on 6 surfaces. So your muscles are like, all right, we got to either put this away or do something because this is starting to get really heavy.
I didn't get rid of my spatial ring.
It
Gonna
will
try
not
and
go
shove
in
it in there.
anything but a fractal ring.
A fractal. Okay.
You have a fractal storage?
Nope. I
Because
got a
it won't.
DNA encoded spatial ring and a regular spatial ring.
Then you cannot store this. You might have to let
Okay.
it go. It does not go
That,
into normal storage rings. Too much friction. It'll
oh
ignite
my
your ring on
goodness.
fire. Trying to force it in there.
Gotcha. Okay. So much surface area. Chun Po is going to try and think, or wants to look at the surface and trying to see all the little grooves of the surface area, see if there's any secrets hidden deep in this ice and why it forms in this odd surface area friction, just looking at it and observing it. Even if it's melting, even if I end up dropping it, I'm going to try and think and look at this before it does. And hopefully not be, or well, if I drop this, I also die because it's
No.
next to me and, okay.
You just throw it.
Oh.
You'll lose the tool that you picked it up with because it'll stick to the cube, but you can throw the tool.
Understood. I'll still try to observe as quickly as I can, but like once I'm just like, it's time, I will throw it.
So its ideal shape is a sphere. But you don't really learn much from thing in your that you've collected. You would have to have like what type of vision sense do you have? Like what type of special sight or senses do you possess?
Nothing special. Like the only thing I have would be my poison chakra Dao, but that's is this a poisonous dose of friction?
No,
No.
restriction.
Then yeah, nothing I could really see other than just trying to use my eyes.
Well, it doesn't look like water when it melts. It's more gooey, more like molasses or ooze.
Interesting. Oh, hmm.
The way it melts, the way it drips, it's like syrupy. Instead of having clean droplets, it stretches before it separates on the thin point. So yeah, it's like watching molasses, honey, or melted plastic drip down. Ooze.
Okay. Only other thing I can think of is to try and cut this into a sphere as it's in the air and like catch it before it hits the ground and see if that makes it easier to work with, but I also don't. I bet you a
With or
sword
without sword
god
energy.
with sword energy.
Okay, every cut creates an explosion of phosphorus gas.
Mm,
We're talking like
yeah, the heat.
white phosphorus heat.
Even on the ice block that I cut out.
Oh yeah,
Okay, I thought
just
that
sword
was
energy
like
coming
from
in
the planet.
contact with the block.
Gotcha. Okay. Shit. Okay. Well, damn it. I didn't realize that part, but here we are. Am I cooking? Am I dead? Am I too hot? Or can I back
I'd
up?
imagine with your intelligence that you're going to be able to not use it while it's facing you. Because your intelligence is what, over 200?
160.
If you roll minus 80 intelligence to see if you remember. Probably don't cut it facing you. Hold it out from you and cut it at the far end so the explosion goes away from you. But there's a chance you forget. You don't forget. You're fine.
I have not seen the plus CEIL 0/2. That is a new way that it is shown information there. Okay. So have I made a perfect sphere?
Oh, do you want to continue? You just realize it cutting it.
Mm.
Even the smallest
Okay, yeah, right.
contact makes hostile expulsions of heat. Chemical heat.
Mm. Oh, come on, Chun-Po. We're smarter than this. We can think of a way through what this tribulation is trying to show us.
You said something earlier that bothered me a little bit. These visitations are not here to give you something. They're not here to provide you with resources. They're here to test you. If you get resources out of it, that's because you were skilled enough to do something. Fortunately, if you don't know what to do here, all you have to do is endure the test and then come back next time
I believe
with proper tools.
I believe in this case I should just endure, and I will sit and wait until something changes for me.
Nothing will change. You stand
Understood.
there and the wind blows and you're stuck in place.
Ugh. I will have to
You have to
buy
do something.
Savalar. Okay. Chun-Po was just like, I'll have to buy Savalar something nice, because otherwise I would have been dead a long time ago. So nothing has changed even here. Um, how to defend against friction? Besides just not touching it, but hypothetically, if something hits or something touches, having personal viscosity, or hypothetically a armor viscosity to where it can't touch me, or hypothetically a small aura of sword sharpness cutting my way along and trying to cut the friction before it touches me, or as it touches me.
Using what?
Using sword aura to try and cut along the friction edge. Basically.
Technically, yeah. I mean, you'll cause a huge plume of phosphoric chemical heat coming up from underneath you, but that could just launch you into space. As in, like 3, 2, 1 liftoff, and then you cover the bottom of your feet with sword energy because you can cover your whole body in sword energy to protect you, and you just fly into space from the liftoff. If that's what you want to do. It would get you thoroughly unstuck.
Yeah, I think I can handle the G-force. I hope. I will cover my feet in sword energy or sword power, trying to aura and stand nice and straight, looking up, and just like, okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I try to lift off without getting myself killed.
I mean, if you cover yourself in complete energy, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, I contemplate. I will have to ask my Tao companions if it is possible to always be able to be able to harvest a resource every time. Wonder what Riveth would do.
And you're mumbling again, but like the
Um,
volume as you
okay.
continue to go gets lower and lower and lower, and I can understand less and less, and you end up kind of mumbling into the mic. I'm sorry, bud.
You're good. Yeah, sorry. For me, the that normally hasn't been an issue in previous recordings, so it's just I'm not sure if a setting got changed somewhere, but I will just try to speak clearly and with a little bit more oomph. Did you hear all of that? Okay.
Yeah, pretty okay.
Okay. Because yeah, this is like what I would consider like inside voice, like, and it has. I'm not sure if maybe my
He sounds fine to us.
Not to
okay,
me.
gotcha. Do. Yeah, okay. Um, okay. Then let's see. Did my liftoff have I if you could hear me, I said that I wanted to do the encasing myself in sword power and lifting off. Um,
Yeah. So
okay.
you confirm liftoff.
Yes.
Okay. You go to space. Trial's over.
Chunpo's just kind of scratching his head and asking himself, what would Riveth do? How would Riveth harvest or gather things from always obtaining victory or trying to cultivate victory in these moments? As
Sometimes victory is just survival with minimal losses.
fair enough.
Victory often doesn't have to be I got the world and everything around it. Sometimes victory looks like that, but most of the time it's living. Living's great.
We don't have to be marauders every time.
Correct. All right, bud. You have succeeded.
All right.
Now you know the win condition. You just have to get off the surface of the planet, out of its atmosphere, and its face.
Okay. Yeah,
That
because it was
is the
stuck.
ice
Okay.
friction planet. Yeah, ice friction planet.
Nice friction planet. Planet. Would you like visitation at the end of that?
Yes, it's part of your
Okay.
visitation. Yeah.
I'm done. What is the next step?
We get you loot. So I'm pulling up now. So you get 50. And then you get 10 for each tier beyond the first. So the next time you complete this tier, you get 60 and then 70 and so on. But for now, it's 50. If you have a intrinsic quality to your character sheet, not on a weapon, not in a poison, not in an item, something on your character sheet passively, a weapon feature like stalwart or felling or any of that, you can increase it by 1. If you don't have any, you get impervious 1, which protects you from 1 felling.
Okay.
And then you do that for the tier of the mountain you're on. So this would be tier 1. You would increase that by 1.
Okay. I'm going to create, let's see, mountain climbing, and write down some things. Sorry. Okay. I'm writing down mountain climbing and putting in everything that you said there and marking dates of when they happened. Plus 50 vitae and 1 impervious. Because I don't believe that I have anything else besides that, so I gain 1 impervious. Sorry. I am just trying to speak clearly and
These
yeah.
are all the just rewards you get. Let me know if you need help figuring out any of these.
Proves the damage type
The
will,
damage types are, you get to pick one.
Okay.
Impact, piercing, cutting. And this is intent, damage intent.
Impact.
Okay. Impact is like bludgeoning.
Yes, would that I say that for how it affects weight, because I am a heavy swords, and so I wasn't sure whether cutting or
That would be
impact would be.
the bludgeoning impact. So if you have a sword that's not very sharp, but hits more like a hammer, impact's the way to go. If you want your
So
sword to cut through air and make it scream, cutting.
Mm,
If you want to make someone Swiss cheese, piercing.
so far, I believe I should double down on impact and
Sure,
just
that's great.
accept that I will not have a sharp sword.
Gain 1 level of impact intent.
Gain
And then, of course,
level.
increase your key pool by 10. And then increase your Qigong pool, any Qigong pool that you want, by 5.
Okay.
Do you want it to be
I'm
gravity Qigong? Feel free, homie.
I'm increasing gravity Qigong.
All right.
Increasing gravity.
By 5.
Qigong. Heck yeah.
All
Plus
right.
5.
The other half of the goodies can only be obtained by doing the second half of the mountain cultivation.
Okay.
You do remember, hopefully you do remember the conversation. Remember the details about the second half? Would you like a review?
Yes.
You will go into a meditative stance, lotus position. You will then take all of the consumable resources you will need, of one which you'll need the slate, the Dow imprint slate that you guys bought from Cubix. You will need a metric crap ton of spirit essence, which you can get by eating pills. And then it'll send you to the mountain.
Oh, with the mortar and pestle, or well, with the I chose a mortar and pestle as my play body, and then I would be mentally climbing the mountain with that.
Nope.
No,
That is your clay Dow vessel, which you will fire into a Dow vessel.
Okay.
A Dow imprint slate is literally a stone blank slate that you will use as a camera to take a negative photo of the constellation
Okay.
fragment, so you can walk out of the tribulation with it, so you can study it for gains.
Okay.
Each time
I
is
like.
one-time use. Make sure you get a
Okay.
good photo of it.
Okay.
You also need to gather the Thunderstone. It's unmistakable. It is a
Thunderstone.
stone the size of a lemon and kind of in a shape of a lemon. It lets off all sorts of lightning arcs and is nice and blue. You can touch it without penalty. It will not shock you. The other is the Phenomenon Stone. It gives off these white, wispy tendrils. They are harder to acquire and more risky to acquire than the Thunderstone, but they're significantly more valuable. You are to retrieve them and bring them out of cultivation with you so that you can have them in real life and go from there.
Okay.
You were told that there is also it's not going to be as easy as just showing up and getting to work.
Understood.
So when you get there, try to experiment a little until you figure things out. But absolutely don't forget your Dow slate, and don't forget to eat a ton of pills, or at least some of the better pills, to get as many soul essence as you can.
Soul essence. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I have the Dow slate, eating ton of pills, practice.
So,
Don't
as the
jump
saying
into it.
goes, mountain climbing is for 3 types of people: the wealthy, the desperate, or the truly talented.
Chun
You are the first
pose.
category. So beat this
Chun
with
pose.
money.
Yes. Beat it with money because I have money now.
Right.
I'm not desperate anymore.
How much soul essence do you eat?
Is with the aspect of I'm beating this with money, is there a recommended quantified amount of soul essence that it's just like you should try and reach this much if you can?
10,000 minimum if you want to be a wealthy bastard. Casey walked in with 100,000, which was so much overkill I can't even express.
How 25,000?
Sure.
Okay. I think
number.
shooting 25,000. Okay. 25,000.
You know that unused soul essence goes away after the trial, unless you have a storage device.
Yeah, that's the reason why Casey went in with 100,000.
Okay. All right. Well, double the minimum, or more than double the minimum, and a little bit more. So hopefully, even if I do have escrow, it won't fuck it up too much.
Okay.
25,000.
Shall we begin, or do you need
Yes.
more time?
Other than to ask if there was anything with the Dow slate other than just having it and bringing it.
Having it, bring it, and make sure you use it.
Okay.
It is as simple as holding the tablet up in front of your vision and looking through the slate at the target behind it that the slate is obscuring. By trying to look through the plate at the constellation fragment, it then imprints it on the slate. However,
Understood.
you do have to stand there, and it will hit you.
Okay.
That's where the money comes in.
Gotcha.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right, my friend. As you sit down in the lowest position, get comfortable. Shift a little bit. Breathe in, breathe out. After your first visitation, after your first half of the completion, when you enter meditation and seek the mountain again, you have a powerful instinct that guides you to where you need to go, and all you have to do is surrender to its call.
I do.
When you do, you find yourself flowing across this invisible road, and you arrive with eyes open to the side of a mountain, craggy mountain. You're at the foot of it, and as you look towards the mountain foot and look up, it goes into the clouds. It's heavily overcast, kind of a dull gray, but plenty of light. You can see very far and wide except for the clouds and the fog. The mountain is at a almost imperceptible angle downwards, so the rain will know where to move, and it won't get caught anywhere. But to a person, almost imperceptible from being a flat surface. There are weeds and small rough herbage that can withstand living in the cracks of a mountain, sparsely populated everywhere. And I call it a crag because the surface is extremely uneven and a bit, I wouldn't say sharp, but none of it's smooth around it. It's still jagged.
Would you describe like certain areas where there's like a bunch of pebbles off to the side, like possibly chunks have fallen off the mountain?
Sure, but they're more call them strange polygon shapes.
Okay.
So nothing that's been worn down into smooth angles. It's all kind of jagged angles and facets and surfaces.
Okay.
Kind of like more pyrite in the way it behaves.
Okay.
You look around, and oftentimes you see patches of floating fog as if they're their own little cloud having a stroll across the side of the mountain. And then you turn around and you see a strange, large statue. Someone sitting in a Buddha, like lotus position. They have a hand in their lap, palm up, and they have a hand up, palm facing you. They look at peace, but the person looks haggard, tired, a little gaunt, sword in lap, all stone. And when you look down at your hands, you think they're hands, little grabby bits. It's all white, rounded, no feature, no detail. And as you look at yourself, so is the same. Describe the Buddha statue. It looks exactly like you, Po, sitting in the lotus position like a Buddha, with a stone sword in his lap, just like you did right before you came here. However, this figure has no idea who that is, the person they're staring at, whoever this statue is. They have no idea who they are or who that is and why they're here. They have nothing on their character sheet. They have no stats, no skills, nothing. But what is your willpower score? Poe's willpower score.
Poe's willpower is 153.
153 will be the essence this little man can have at any one time. The 25,000 is in the statue. The most this little man can have at one point is 153. If he takes 153 damage or more, he perishes.
Okay.
And you will fail this level of cultivation. Now, if he runs out on his own, you fail the level of cultivation and can try again. But if the little man is killed by the constellation, you cannot cultivate anymore.
Okay.
So, as a note, Casey walked in with 299. 153 is going to make this really hard.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Once you've touched it, you can always go back the next time, because we're going to do this 16 times. The amount of prep between each session is going to be perfected to an efficient manner. Okay. The little man reaches out and touches the statue and establishes first contact. You are now connected to little man, which is this little white-looking human shape with no detail, no gender, no features. They're just person-shaped.
Kind of like a mannequin.
Yeah, but they're glowing white. Mannequins have too much detail.
Oh dear. Alrighty.
If they make contact with you, Poe, you are the statue, not little man. You know they are you, but not in a way you recognize. They also know nothing. They have nothing. No stats, no core characteristics, no talents, no cultivation, nothing.
I am supposed to protect little man as I go up the mountain to then take the Dow Slate picture at the top.
Can be a little hard because you can only give little man things. Give him more essence or teach him stuff. He has to protect himself. And you know he also has to carry you up the mountain.
Oh, he has to carry me.
Contact with the cultivation fragment is optional. You know that. This guy also has no idea why he's here.
Okay. I will. Let's see. He can only. This feels like the way that you worded that 153 essence at any one point. So it's a bad idea to try and give him that much essence just to. Well, but like in him protecting me as I go up the mountain, he will be. Is essence damaging?
Essence is your health bar. Essence is your resource to attack. You deal essence damage. You take essence damage. When you do stuff, it costs you essence. To heal costs essence.
To teach costs essence?
Yes. But as long as he's in contact with you, it doesn't have to come from his reserve. It can come from yours.
Okay.
Which you have 25,000 of.
Yeah. How good is that connection? Could I hypothetically have?
You? Great.
Okay. As long as he's touching me. Okay.
Yep. Every time he takes an action, it costs 1 essence. Teaching him moves time ahead, costs 1 essence. So every time you teach him anything, costs 1. Anytime he moves, minimum 1.
Okay.
Fortunately, you have a lot, and if he's carrying you, you're always in contact.
Okay. I want to give him 100 essence and had to like be trying to teach him as he carries me up the mountain, or is teaching like a hey, you have to stop what you're doing and teach?
Not necessarily, but you don't give him 100. You teach him something, then I tell you a prize.
Okay. Okay.
Each turn, you can either teach him something, or you can give him more essence to refill his reserve. You can't do both. You have to do. You can only do one thing per
Understood.
round.
Okay. I would like to teach him either. Well, poison devouring is what my mind says I should teach him first.
Complex.
Complex.
It'll cost you 50,000
Just.
points,
Ooh.
and he may not even be able to use it.
Okay.
Think of all the parts that go into.
Yeah.
Devour. Way too complex. No support base. This guy is literally a blank slate. He doesn't even have characteristics. How can he even possibly understand Devour?
Can I? Then I would like to teach him just the base 9 characteristics. Is it?
Yeah, you want to teach him 9 characteristics? Sure. It'll cost you
Yeah.
5 each, plus 1
5
for
each?
6 each, because it's plus 1 per
Right.
teaching, because time moves on.
Okay.
So 45 points. You could pull that from your reserve. Do note down what you wanted to teach him with the cost. Put a little
Okay.
Word document or a little side note.
Yep. Okay.
Just in
All
case you have to
characters.
reference it later. He now has access to characteristics. You don't have to worry about the value. He just has them now.
Gotcha. So 5, but plus would it be 54 in total for him to get that because you said it was 6 each?
Miss it? It's what, 6 times 9, right?
Yeah.
It is 54. Oops, I got that mixed up. 6 times 5 is the previous thing that was in my brain. 54, that's correct. Thank you.
Okay. So 54 essence spent to teach and time progressed. Okay. He has characteristics.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about the value. He just has it.
Okay. Let's teach him. Does it cost for him to understand what a skill is?
Nope. You can just teach him a skill. Costs you 5. You don't have to worry about check marks.
Okay. Then I would like to teach him. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would like to teach him 7 skills in between acrobatics, athletics, awareness, dodge, logic, Medicae, and parry.
Sure.
You said
6 each.
6 each. Okay.
5
So
base,
7.
and then the cost of 1 for the time it takes you to teach it to him. So 6 each. Now he knows all these things.
7.
You need not worry about check marks, though.
42 essence spent. And
what's the total number of things you taught him? You taught him 6 things here, and then you taught him 9 things there?
7 things there, 9 there, so total would be 15.
Okay. He's moved 15 sight distances. So as far as he can see, he's moved it. That's 1 essence of movement. Little man instinctively knows where to go. You told him to climb the mountain. He knows where to climb the mountain.
Okay. hmm?
You got 4 more things you can teach before something will happen.
4 more things I can teach you. I believe that I want to also teach him swordsmanship. But, just up to the path of the sword. Could I teach him the beginning of the sword path, which is step 1?
Way too complex, guy. He doesn't even know
Understood.
how to swing a sword.
Well, okay.
He's never gripped one in his hand. He also doesn't have one.
That's
And
fair.
the stone one across your lap, that's fixed to your person.
Mm.
You can't give him that.
How will you defend yourself? 'Cause I can't give you tree buddy either. I don't think I can teach you how to have a tree buddy inside of you. Oh fuck. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Oh my. I would like to. Oh boy. Okay. I would like to try and teach him a martial art for self-defense. The using level of using his arms and hands and first tier of the mountain.
Don't worry about it yet. Focus on you.
Okay.
You can look at
Yep.
that later.
I want to teach little man here a martial art to defend himself with his hands and feet.
What martial art?
I believe that this would be where it'd be really good for me to try and just say, "Hey, I have passion of the 4 elements right here, and we
Cost you
can do
5,000.
something." 5,000 to
Teach
all of
him
passion
just
of the 4
that.
elements.
He also doesn't have key, so you can't even use it.
Hmm.
You could try and give him key, though.
Yes. Let's start with key. How much would it cost for him to learn
10
key?
per.
10.
And it costs you
Okay,
10
10
essence
per.
to restore 1 key. So he can't regenerate it on his own, even if you give him a restoration technique.
Okay. So 10 per key. And can I do it in a large chunk as if one thing, or would it be like if I tried to give him 4 key
Sure.
right now? Okay. Then let's. If it's 10 per, then 100 would be 10.
Yes.
Would you stop me at 150? I feel
No.
I can't do something like. Okay.
No, anything you teach, you can have it come from your pool.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But
Then
once he has it, if he wants to use it, he has to use it from his pool.
Gotcha. Then I would like to spend 1,000 to give him 100 key.
Sure, done.
License to teach key.
Do you want to
To
teach him
teach him
Passion of the
give
4
key.
Elements?
Yes, and that one was,
Okay.
you said was 5,000?
Mm-hmm. What moves does he know? He can know up to 4. They don't have to be like crazy custom made off of the Passion of the 4 Elements. Just what is a output for a reasonable cost? We're going super basic here.
Piercing strike?
What'd that do?
punch real hard and break through bones.
Okay. Do you want to teach him impact intent? Cost you 10.
Yes.
Cool.
Tricky passion 4 elements.
Okay. So impacts punch really hard. It'll cost you
Impact intent.
10 key.
Sorry.
Does 10 damage. And if you apply impact intent, adds another 10 damage. So for 10 key, you deal 20 damage. What's the next
Okay.
move?
Defense. Let's go for movement. Similar to utilizing impact with the ground to launch yourself and basically just bit of a it's basically running but more oomph in your legs as you run, so further distance over
Double distance. You spend
Okay.
1 key to move +1 to your distance.
Okay, 10 keys equal to 20 damage, 1 key movement equals double movement.
Yeah.
Double distance.
Yeah, you can spend up to 10 for times 10 the move.
Okay, up to times 10.
Okay. Move number 3.
Body hardening. Being able to harden your bones, muscle, and skin along wherever damage would be applying, either as it happens or like right before it happens. You harden yourself up as a reflex.
Spend 10 key, take 10 less damage.
10 key minus 10 damage taken.
Fourth move.
And shit. A recovery that a mental meditative recovery state, but I kind of want, well, I don't want to say that he has to be sitting for it to, or meditating for it to be happening, but that might have to be what I do for right now.
What does recovery do?
As long as, or if he is not expending key or like he's not doing anything, then recovers key at 1
Okay.
time state. Yes.
I told you this earlier. You don't need a recovery. As long as he's touching you, you can refill his key
Right.
by paying 10 essence per key.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about that one for the passion of the 4 element. Or at least not right now. Or as long as I have essence. Then okay, so hardening, piercing, running. Hypothetically, Ki is more for the body, Qigong is more for the outside world. Can I teach him Qigong?
Sure.
Or is that
It's 100 per
too
Qigong.
complicated for Qigong? This would be the last thing because that's 3 there, I believe.
Sure. Do you want to teach him a move?
Yes.
Because Qigong needs an output.
would that be two things or
It'll be two
would it
separate
be
things, yeah. I said you have 4 things.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. Like this would be the fourth because I got
You
the
have
impact intent, the movement, and the defensive.
so off into the distance, you see that image floating around about head height, and underneath it is a loose circle of fog/clouds, and you can see a blue sparky thing in between the clouds directly underneath the constellation fragment. You also see a white wispy stone directly above it. Doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. Means you have the jump on it, or you can continue to teach it things.
I want to get the jump on it.
You do remember, fighting these things are biblically hard. Killing them is not worth it.
Is there fighting it is a part of this, or is surviving it a part of this? Can I run and hide and still?
If you can find somewhere to hide. There's only patches of fog, and everything's really open.
I would rather. I will continue to teach it, but if it's, I will continue to teach because if it is unlikely to, if it's just unlikely that I can even hide at all, then I will face it head on.
Okay? Just remember, for what purpose are you trying to fight it?
If in the extent of my as Chunpo, to an extent, Chunpo didn't want to fight at all, but ended up
Sure.
on the path and must fight to live and to survive, which was Chunpo's goal in the first place, was to live and survive.
Sure.
Chunpo doesn't necessarily want to fight this constellation, but will fight it if it becomes a necessity.
What's a necessity?
Fight if it tries to kill me. If it becomes hostile to me, I will fight back and do my best to either kill it or fight and survive to a standstill, to simply say I will not die because I choose to live to tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe I can't, but I will try.
I need you to think really long and hard. This is from the GM. This is like I've started to pull the gloves off for the content.
Yeah.
This can lead to character death through inability to continue to cultivate. If Little Man runs out of essence personally, you can try again. If the constellation does damage equal to or over his max amount, or whatever's remaining, cultivation stops there forever. That's how deadly these things are. On the tiger side, you just take Dow wounds that you can try as many times as you were willing to be harmed by the tigers. If you take a lethal blow from one of these, game's over. So it's nice that you want to fight. It's nice that you want to stand your ground and prove your point. But you also said you wanted to live and survive. Oftentimes, you just gotta run away. So be very careful about how you approach this. The stones are right there. He is right there. The stones move with him, directly above him, directly below him, and the below one has a bunch of clouds underneath. You have to lug around this guy, statue. You don't know what this thing is about. You do know it's very deadly, and it is an unfair fight, if you can even call it a fight. So I'm going to give you this warning because I don't want to nullify 2 years of hard effort and diligence to playing the game just to have Poe get screwed here because you were a little too eager to jump in. So definitely think about this. It hasn't noticed you yet. You can move away and try and keep a specific distance. You can try and track it. You can come up with a strategy. But if you want to attack it, you can. If you want to try and sneak your way in, you can. Like whatever is your strategy. You can also just say fuck that and run up the mountain. You can still complete this cultivation just by ascending the mountain and not playing with this constellation fragment. Just that's where all the benefits are.
Gotcha. I'm gonna teach him stealth as well, an extra skill.
Or it's gonna cost you 6. Sure. Constellation gets a little closer.
Okay, that would be.
You have him move away.
Yep. And I will try to stealth and sneak my way and try to. Oh well, what the?
Okay. The eye turns unerringly at you. Take 100 damage, which means little man has 53 health points left. Yours and little man's turn.
Okay.
You take another hit, he's dead.
Yes. Can I put more essence into
You him? Sure can.
Okay.
The statue's turn will be top off little man. He's now back at 153. Okay. What does little man do?
Little man tried to stealth and it did not work at all.
Nope. It immediately looked at you. Once you got into a certain range.
Then trying to run. Let's see. The stones, the lightning stones that I'm trying to gather are under the constellation in the clouds.
There's one lightning stone underneath him, surrounded by a little ring of clouds that he has underneath him. And then there's the phenomenon stone right above his head. So this thing is the size of a Volkswagen.
Gotcha.
And it's about head height off the ground. So you'd have to stoop a little bit to get underneath it. It's also going to attack you all the time.
Understood.
Okay, so stealth didn't seem to work. You noticed you literally immediately once you got within a certain distance of it.
Okay. Then I will attempt to run in and grab the stone and not try to actively fight, but dash, snatch and grab further than to just proceed up the mountain.
So which one? Are you going to try and jump over it and grab the phenomenon stone, or run through the mist to grab the thunderstone?
Just run through the mist to grab the thunderstone.
Okay. You run forward. Your first movement is right in front of it. You're right. That's where you end up.
Okay.
Okay. You.
Okay. Did little man spend any key?
You didn't tell him to.
Okay. Well,
you want him to use key to move faster? Sure.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. As you go through the mist, it costs 100 essence, which you can pull from the statue since you're touching. You grab the thunderstone. It deals 110 damage, then 110 damage for touching the stone. You have died.
I thought you said I could touch the thunderstones without any issue.
This constellation, on its turn, dealt damage. You touch the thunderstone in the same turn, it does the same damage again.
Yeah, and I healed myself in between that.
Yes, 110
And then
puts you down to 43. Another 110 before you
yes.
get to act does another. It sends you red line into death.
I wouldn't have
I'm
touched the
warning you, my guy.
stone. I wouldn't have touched. I assumed that I could grab it and it not hurt
Right.
me.
This
That's
thunderstone is not harming you. It's guarding the stones. It's directly underneath the constellation. It moves like a cat's
Understood.
eye. Doesn't matter where you move, as long as you are in the range of its eye, it follows you unerringly. No dodging, no stealthing. It is a money test. So I'm going to do you a solid here. I'm going to wind it back before you make that move. You're on the cusp of its vision before you run in.
Okay.
Do not ever assume anything about this thing. If you had higher stats, you might have been able to pull that off. Taking 220 damage, if you had, I don't know, 299 health, you'd have survived and ran off. But 153 willpower is killing you.
Then, no,
Because that's the
the
max you can
idea,
have.
yeah, the thing that Chun-Po and little buddy or little guy will be doing is trying to run up the mountain and avoiding this
Do you want to take a picture of him before you leave?
of the
Yeah.
killing constellation, cultivator killing
Yes.
constellation.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fragment. You'll take a picture. It does 110 damage to you on its turn. You heal him up and you huff it up the mountain.
Okay.
Simple as that. Takes you 600 essence from not him. It's basically paying 1 essence 600 times to get up the mountain.
Okay.
You have reached a rest site.
Wow. Okay.
You get some choices. Let me get you the choices. You may either. Let me put this in chat. You may either rest and eat at the rest site. It allows you to keep all purchases for the next time you enter the mountain. The ones you already gave little man. He'll have all of that. You won't have to spend time or essence to teach him all that stuff again. He just remembers. Or you can have him sit at the rock garden and study all the cool rocks and take one home with him.
I'm gonna rest and eat.
Okay. And that's it. You then get to pick one of these cool options. So, in chat, pick one of these. Mountain choices. You can either explore the mountain, grants insight and Dao secrets. You can pillage the mountain to grant rare inorganic resources from the mountain. You can cultivate on the mountain to grant improvements to cultivation for the future. Harvest. You can choose all of these. You get to pick one, and then we roll talent, with the exception of a couple that save it for later.
Jump off the mountain, death. Like, okay. I'm looking and thinking on either exploring the mountain or cultivating on the mountain. Could I? What would improvements to cultivation for the future look like? Like, is that specifically for
Basically,
the Dow count?
you put off the reward. And if you continue to cultivate, you put off the reward and put off the reward. And you can stack it as many times as you put it off until you stop. And then when you pick a new option, you stack all of the rewards into that one.
Okay.
So it can be a long haul strategy, but most of the stuff you would get from this list, you still roll Gestalt for.
Okay.
So there's a good chance you pick it, you don't get anything. But if you go in knowing that you're going to have to pick from this the next time, you can also take a Gestalt boosting pill that only works when you complete that level.
Consecrating the mountain improves the mountain, granting a better chance of improving the chances on the next one.
Yeah, basically it doubles your chances of getting any one of the next options. It wouldn't work with cultivating the mountain very well.
Okay. But okay, so consecrating the mountain, the next would be like a, hey, really good if you know you're going to pick something for the next one, but cultivating is more of a slowly stack up and then like go for a giant boost.
Well, cultivate the mountain stacks prizes. It doesn't increase the chance of you getting that prize. The other one increases the chance of getting the prize, but doesn't increase the amount of rewards. And you can stack the consecrate just like you can stack the cultivate.
Okay.
So let's say if you pick one of these options, normally it'd be a 10% gestalt chance. You have to roll 10 or less. Well, if you pick consecrate, next time it'll be 20%. And then if you pick consecrate again, it's now 40%. And it keeps going up until you're almost guaranteed to get something. Cultivate, if you were to roll that 10%, now gives you 2 prizes, 3 prizes, 4 prizes. If you roll that 10%. Evening group, 2 players picked cultivate the entire way up. And then used a prodigious amount of resources to guarantee that they rolled the gestalt, and they got 10 times the prizes at the very end. It was a cool strategy. John, on the other hand, picked and chose as he needed, as he went up. So some of them he picked harvest, some of them he picked consecrate. So he actually picked death one time, fell off the mountain, died, but he's a death cultivator, so he actually gained a bunch of good shit instead of dying. So depends on what you need. Depends on your strategy. And the strategy starts here.
I will cultivate on the mountain.
Well, do remember, now that you've completed this, you get a limit break for all stats. All stats can go up by an additional 10 up to the realm limit. Or the zone limit. So 299 is the current zone limit. But you have to have enough limit breaks and limit shatters to allow you to go that high. So there's 2 gates.
So plus 10 to stats. Hang on a second. I did have a thing where I calculated characteristic maximums. So these all go plus 10 now. My color rank is now plus 50, updated 07 of 15 of 2027. 2026. What am I talking about? Thresholds are still the same. Reinforcements stay the same. 240, 260, 240, 260. Okay. And yeah, my willpower could be 260 if I stuck to it. Okay, yeah, next time going in with 260 would, let's see, 220. Yeah, I could actually survive that and actually get a lightning stone if I chose. But it gets better at it next time.
You missed the lightning stone, you missed the phenomenon stone.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But you have over a dozen more levels to go. Lightning stones and phenomenon stones can technically be bought as well. But now you know to get your stats up. You can also bring in other resources and materials. so that you're better prepared. Each of the constellation fragments will be a different ordeal. That guy is unique, just like every fragment will be unique. He had piercing gaze. If you were within range, he saw you. And if he sees you, he shoots you. That's his gimmick. Me see, me shoot. And it has ramping damage by +10. If you touch either stones, it does 2 instances of back-to-back damage of whatever ramp it's at. Other ones will allow stealth. Other ones will allow curing yourself or hiding or doing a blitz attack to grab something. It's just this particular one was good against it. Some of them might even blink. Always look out for the gimmick. Always look out for its behavior, what its specialty is. Once you figure them out, you can immediately build a strategy. Your time limit on the mountain is only limited by how much essence you have left.
I only spent 7,000 essence, actually.
Right. Unfortunately, his damage does not stop ramping, and touching either stone would have dealt a double damage, which would have killed your guy instantly because you don't have 299 in willpower. Fortunately, for next time, you will be able to combine toughness score and willpower score totals. So you'll have a bigger reserve on Little Man. And every time you go up a constellation or like cultivation tier, you add another core characteristic to the total Little Man has. But also the fights get a little harder. You missed out this time. You lived. That's what's important. You got the slate, which was a negative photo, turned positive. So it's a real photograph etched in slate of the constellation. You also got that little if you chose the rock garden, you would have gotten a little quartz, but you rested. So yeah, simple as that. Cultivation's done. You're now a level 1 mountain climber, fully. Give your time, Mr. William.
Yep.
It ain't getting struck by lightning bolts anymore.
This can technically wait till session, but I should be coming into a good chunk of money come Tuesday. So I'd like to try and pay up.
Gotcha. Not a problem. And if you can only pay a part of it, that's fine too. Just whatever you're able to help with.
For sure. Or yeah. I don't like debts.
Me neither, man. But life is expensive. Car, phone, insurance, both medical and car.
Did the 25,000 soul essence and pills cost any wealth factor or anything, or is it just
came from your collection? The team's collection.
Okay.
It goes away because you don't have an artifact to preserve it. But
which is a shame.
You didn't even use half.
No.
So 25K on the
I did less than the minimum than what you said.
Yeah. But you can see why it's a money man's game. The soul essence pills are not cheap. And the more soul essence there are in the pill, the more expensive it is. And there's so many cool spirit and soul tools that you can use to make this even easier. Just so long as you're rich as shit.
Gotcha.
And if you're not rich, you either have to be a very ridiculously talented and savvy cultivator, or you're just desperate and anything works. So
I don't want to be desperate, but
no, you're rich. You can be desperate and rich because it makes you rich. So
alrighty.
thank you for your time.
Thank you. Clicked that just a tad too soon, but thank you. Yes, and I will see you Saturday.
Yeah. Do you please help me with scheduling? Because I asked for scheduling on Saturday. I also sent a message in chat specifically adding you
I
for availability.
haven't. I apologize. I haven't been at my PC as much, and I will. I didn't want to download Discord to my work phone. I still haven't found the other phone. It has been a bit of a pickle, but I will try to spend at least a little
How
bit of
was I able
time.
to message you then?
That I downloaded it to my one phone, my personal phone, and like got that situated because I had to go through some authenticator bullshit because I didn't have it on that new phone. I jumped through the hoops. I got it onto my personal phone, and then I lost my personal phone, and then now I want to strangle somebody. But
Well, hopefully you'll be able to like trace
yeah,
where, what,
find it.
yeah.
Yes,
But
I will.
thank you for your time, man.
Yeah. Bye.
Here. Johnny, you are deafened and muted. Wonder if you will respond. Hello, are you there? We are done now. You may feel at ease to unmute and undeafen. So alone. So very, very alone. Oh, hold on. Mr. Johnny's, are you there? Maybe the bloops will catch his attention. Question mark, question mark, question mark. If you are not back in 10, I will do another. Don't believe. No. All right, Johnny. You're not here, but Allie is. They're muted. And OBS, you're here faithfully recording. I understand. I'm gonna hop over to the discussion channel.